bone-dry horizon. The air hangs thick and heavy, a visible shroud shimmering above the cracked earth. Each breath Elijah draws feels like inhaling fire, searing his lungs and leaving a gritty residue on his tongue. The sun, a malevolent eye in the bleached sky, beats down with merciless intensity, baking the sand to an impossible temperature. This is Death Valley, and for Elijah, it has become a personal hell. He remembers the moment it all went wrong with a sickening clarity. A shortcut, a foolish belief in his old map, a sudden violent shudder of his aging truck, and then silence. A silence broken only by the incessant drone of unseen insects and the frantic hammering of his own heart. Now, days later, the silence has become a heavy blanket, suffocating his hope. The truck lies on its side, a twisted metal carcass baking under the sun. He salvaged what little he could. 2 half-empty water bottles, a rusty multi-tool, a tattered blanket that offers scant protection from the day's fury and the night's surprising chill. An gnawing sense of his own monumental stupidity. His lips are cracked and bleeding, his throat a parched wasteland. The water is long gone, each precious sip a fading memory. He scans the horizon, a jagged line of distant mountains blurring in the heat haze. Bone-dry horizon. The title resonates with a grim finality. Stretches before him, an endless expanse of sand and rock, offering no solace, no sign of life. His shadow is his only companion, a distorted, elongated figure that stretches and shrinks with the relentless arc of the sun. He walks, putting one blistered foot in front of the other. Driven by a primal instinct to survive, even when logic screams the futility of it all. The heat plays tricks on his eyes. Mirages shimmer in the distance, tantalizing pools of water that vanish as he stumbles towards them, leaving only the mocking expanse of the desert floor. He clutches the empty water bottles, the plastic warm and strangely comforting in his calloused hand. Days bleed into nights. The scorching heat gives way to a biting cold, the vast silence punctuated by the mournful howl of coyotes in the distance. Sleep offers little respite, haunted by dreams of cool water and green landscapes, cruel taunts from a world he may never see again. He rationed his energy, moving during the marginally cooler hours of dawn and dusk, seeking what little shade he could find beneath the sparse, thorny bushes. Small victory. Finding a sliver of shade. The unexpected discovery of a hardy desert flower offers a fleeting spark of hope against the encroaching despair. His thoughts drift back to his life before this desolate prison. His daughter's laughter, the smell of rain on parched earth, the simple comfort of a warm bed. These memories are both a source of strength and a sharp reminder of everything he stands to lose. He cannot let them fade. He will not. One afternoon, as the sun blazes with renewed ferocity, a dust devil dances across the horizon, a swirling column of sand and fury. He watches it approach with a detached fascination, too weary to feel fear. But as it roars past, engulfing him in a choking cloud of sand, something shifts within him. The raw power of the desert, its indifferent cruelty, ignites a stubborn ember of defiance. He will not be broken. He will endure. He begins to look closer at the landscape, his senses sharpened by desperation. He notices the faint tracks of a desert tortoise, leading towards a cluster of rocks. Hope, a fragile butterfly, flutters in his chest. Where there is life, there might be water. Following the tracks, his body screaming in protest, he reaches the rocks. Tucked in a shaded crevice, he finds a small indentation in the stone, holding a few precious drops of water beaded with condensation. It's barely enough to wet his tongue, but it's a sign. The desert is harsh, but it is not entirely devoid of life. He spends the next few days exploring the area around the rocks, his hope rekindled. He learns to read the subtle signs of the desert, the direction of the wind, the types of vegetation, the tracks of animals. He discovers a few more small pockets of moisture, enough to keep him alive, but not enough to quench his burning thirst. One sweltering morning, he spots something glinting in the distance. He squints, his eyes burning with fatigue. It's a piece of metal, reflecting the harsh sunlight. Could it be? With renewed determination, he stumbles towards it, his heart pounding in his chest. As he gets closer, the glint resolves itself into a battered signpost, almost completely buried in the sand. He clears away the sand, his hands trembling, and reads the faded inscription, Route 66 to 15 miles. 15 miles. A vast distance in his weakened state, but a tangible goal, a beacon of hope in the desolate landscape. He knows it will be the hardest journey of his life, but now he has a direction, a purpose beyond mere survival. He conserves his remaining moisture, prepares his meager belongings, and at dawn the next day, he sets off towards the faint promise of Route 66. The sun rises, casting long skeletal shadows before him. The heat intensifies, the sand stretches endlessly, but in his eyes, there is a flicker of something that has been absent for days, a spark of unwavering resolve. The journey is a brutal test of endurance. His body aches, his thirst is a constant torment, and the sun beats down with relentless fury. He stumbles, falls, but forces himself back to his feet, driven by the image of that faded signpost. Days later, delirious and on the verge of collapse, he sees it. A thin black ribbon cutting across the ochre landscape. Route 66. Salvation. He crawls towards the asphalt, the rough surface scraping against his raw hands. The heat radiating from the road is almost unbearable, but it feels like a warm embrace, compared to the cold indifference of the desert. He lies there for what seems like an eternity, the vast silence finally broken by the distant hum of an engine. A vehicle appears on the horizon, growing larger, its chrome glinting in the sun. As the truck screeches to a halt beside him, a grizzled man emerges, his eyes widening at the sight of Elijah's emaciated form. "Lord have mercy," the man mutters, rushing to his aid. Elijah looks back at the vast expanse of Death Valley, the bone-dry horizon that had held him captive for so long. He had faced the furnace and emerged, scarred but alive. The desert had tested him to his limits, but in doing so, it had revealed a strength he never knew he possessed. As he is helped into the cool interior of the truck, he knows he will never look at a horizon the same way again. The memory of the sun's brutal kiss and the desert's silent challenge will forever be etched in his soul. A testament to the enduring power of the human spirit against the most unforgiving of landscapes.